Welcome, Divine. We are back. If you have checked out the Divine Feminine reading, if you hadn't, I'm seeing you first here. Go check out the Divine Feminine reading. And there's another video out there today. Check them all out. Make sure that you are subscribed so you can see the community post of all of the different spiritual giftings that are coming through at this time on the earth. Yeah. For the divine, of course. All right. I'm pulling clarifiers, guys, for what I've already pulled for the divine masculine. I usually do these things by myself because I do like things a certain way whenever I'm reading, because I like the story. You know that by now. You go in and get the story, and that's what keeps it fun. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. All right, we put those there. We'll just use this space over here. Yeah, because I don't want to get it to where you can't see what's happening. And I want to keep them in line. All right. Beautiful transformation energy. Beautiful transformation energy. Okay. And then go in here. All right. Oh, divine masculine. That's who we are reading for right now. All right. All right. Let's get right on into this reading, divine masculine energy. This is going to be eventful on the deepest level of eventful. Now, we know the divine masculine energy has been in the shift of what did we get, and I had it confirmed by so many. Then I actually went and looked. I found the link where I can see that I have some masculines, although you can be feminine as well, but I do have a percentage, but you guys are confirming. So those of you know that you are not alone. Know that you are not alone. I have received the communication from many of you that you are in those moves and those changes of career, that is really happening with you guys. That's really happening with you guys. You are making those changes. And that's why we start out. Now, we had that the divine feminine was anchoring into that epitome of the femininity. Well, the divine masculine energy is starting out in that epitome of the masculine energy. So it's like, what? They are starting out in that spacing? What do you mean they're starting out in that spacing? Well, it's what we've been talking about. The masculine energy has really honed in. They have really honed in. Okay? And understand, this masculine energy is within you, dominant feminine. This masculine energy, this is the twin. Your objective is to balance both of these energies out. Sometimes when we read them separately like this, it almost seems like we are talking about two different people. And yes, someone can be dominant masculine and someone dominant feminine, and that's what makes it a beautiful, perfecting combination of energy when a divine feminine and a divine masculine come together. It is the perfection of the divine energies as it was intended to be. So the genders, of course, doesn't matter because we're looking for the energy matchup. But in order for that to happen, each individual has to balance the divine feminine and divine masculine in themselves, so they know how to harmoniously interact in those energies when necessary. The reason why the divine masculine energy is starting out, look at this, that base chakra that we've been talking about, that uprooting that we've been saying consistently that the divine masculine energy is doing. We have triumph. We have triumph. So the divine masculine energy, y'all know it's heavy. When that uprooting started coming, you guys started dealing with having to end relationships, set boundaries, speak up for yourself. You want to know why I know? Because look at that. You've triumphed over, this comes out within the towering position. But before we even get to that, look here. The whole kit and caboodle. 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 the whole kit and caboth comes up. And it comes up matched with the mental conflict. Okay, so that awareness and truth is triumph over uprooting this mental conflict of just not having awareness and the light and the complete whole kit and both of them. And I love that, because look, that mental conflict comes out with 2, so that's 2. Both of them within that balance, not being able to do it. The divine masculine energy was struggling to do it. It was also contributing to that in the head factor in the dominant feminines, where it was like, all of this stuff is up there, but I'm not able to balance this stuff out. I just hit it. So I don't really know what's going on. And the reason why we know that, because you remember that tower that I saw? Well, look at the clarification for this. The throat chakra, there it is again. You know, the twins mirror. Why? Because it's the one energy, you know. Go in, not out. 3D is to look at the physical perception of how this is showing up. This is a spiritual journey. You look at the spiritual way in it, how it is showing up. That's why you begin to feel and see and know in the spiritual fabrics of things. Post it on the community board. Subscribe so you can see the community board. I rarely post a thing. Why? Because it wasn't lining up correctly. 2, because I take care of my energy. So I just said, not now. And I moved right along. Well, when I went to post this, it said now. And it was able to post all of the clairs that are coming in. But the way that I like it described, because it adds in many of those other spiritual giftings that are pretty broad. And so that list goes beyond the 4. It goes to the extension of what happens on a spiritual journey. But being in different conflictual mental spaces does not allow that divine awareness. And without that divine awareness, it's more difficult to handle the situations in which are causing the mental conflict. So it is just a whole big old contraption. So this is coming out. Throat chakra, deception, envy, victory, and success. See, the reason why that tower comes out for that placement when we think about this and we talk about this is because you have to see this. See what's happening here. Not being able to voice the things that are going on around you that are not okay. The deception, the envy, and look at those eyes. It's really just, I'm not able to voice what I see behind the veil. And there's victory and success over that. And see, there's a tower position with that because it was a lot of mental conflict, which means that I see something, feel something, and live in one way, and then I'm seeing and feeling and living another way. This comes back in with that change of life. Get the bundle below with the details of everything within this if need be. And it's just because I switched over to kind of upload things off of here when we were doing the switch up with YouTube. I think everything is much better now, and a lot of amazing updates have happened, but it's only listed as $3.33 just to get you in there. It has many extendeds in it, but so you can understand where we are within the rebirth the resurrection, the rebirth of the divine feminine, divine masculine. Just this is a growth point on earth. This is an ascension point. See, it's markers of times of ascension. There's divine timing really does exist, but not divine timing as if you can't know. It's just that the divine has a whole nother timing scale. and it goes through planetary motions and seasons and energy. And once you know it, you just kind of start knowing what's going on. And then you start learning how to handle it. Well, the divine masculine energy was in so much conflict that they couldn't understand or decipher. But there's victory and success over that. The reason why we know that, because we have right here the coffin. They're like, we have ended that. We've ended that. That's why they started out with uprooting that. This is the stuff they uprooted. And we're like, no, we're not going to play this game anymore. They uprooted this. This has ended. The clarifier for this is emotional withdrawal and power. And you got to understand what that emotional center is. And that's that double 8 that's coming up on here. The reason why we have that double 8 that's coming up here is that it is letting us know. You know, we have to like really, and the main thing that's coming, we flip it to the side, infinity, you know, infinity. So, and you gotta know that this card right here says 8 at the bottom. The coffin. Look at that. That 888. This is affirming so much. And the reason why it is affirming so much is because they're putting an end to that and having to emotionally withdraw their power, but instead they're staying in their power. They have victory and success, triumph, uprooting the stuff that had them to where they couldn't stay in their power, to why they had to emotionally withdraw. That's really what we're talking about. This is about emotional intelligence. This is crap went down so many times in life. So at this point in time, I shut down my emotions. Now, the planets are shifting. I've been sparked on fire because I'm feeling some type of attraction. And at this point, my stuff is coming up from the root. And I am seeing me through the reflection of another. And it is causing me to understand that that internal world of conflict was not leading me to anything in life that I desired. But now I'm getting victory and success over that. And I'm ending the behavior of having to emotionally withdraw, and that be how I deal with it. But I'm getting another thing, that I'm getting a clarification that it's not emotional withdrawal in which it's thought to be. It is emotional shutdown by not standing in my power, shutting down my soul center, my feeling nature, having conflict in that area that doesn't allow me to be in my dual nature of being a spiritual being, and utilizing that power, not accessing that. But having the withdrawal from the things that is necessary. So that's coming up. And the reason why I know it is because the next card that we go into, this is ending what? Ending looking outside of themselves for the answers to anything. They're going within to look for the answers. So that's the clarification on the emotional withdrawal. Not shutting down the soul center, but effectively knowing how to withdraw from what is necessary to stand in the power, because what's necessary is the divine masculine energy is saying that I'm no longer looking to other people to guide me. I am going inward, and I am following my directional path to get me to the things that matter. That's why the divine masculine started out in that divine masculine card. Because, and this is just showing the route in which the divine masculine got there, and why. And how. So pulling back from listening to other people, and it's sacrificing that heartache and loss, because it always kept jacking them up. It was like I'm following all of this stuff, I'm having this mental conflict, and then I'm being deceived because I didn't shut down my spiritual nature that won't allow me to see what's going on. They're like, kind of dumb. So many of us are sitting back, and it's like within our masculine energy, and it's like, no, I can speak up. I can speak up, you know, and you are standing in your divine masculine energy, and that's what you are seeing throughout the earth, and standing in that power. The reason why I know that is because, here we go, pulling after that is standing in that independent nature and using that to fly over the mountains that we talked about, that came up in the additional divine masculine readings, to fly over the mountains in the easier way to deal with things, in the easier way of how you handle stuff. Yeah, but not in the way of how was previously handling it, using both natures to handle things, using my divine nature to handle things, to do what? Accomplish the foundation and the achievements that I want, you see, within that rainbow. So the divine masculine energy is understanding that it is necessary for them to be attuned to their spiritual nature and their awareness to accomplish the things that they want. That they thought that following the lead of other people's direction was going to get them there, but in fact they recognized that that led them to just heartache and loss. So they are uprooting that, and they're seeing things and directions for themselves. Once the divine masculine begins to align to that spiritual nature, that power that you feel in the energy, you understand, this isn't a resistance to the divine masculine energy being in awareness just because someone wants to hurt the feelings of some dominant divine feminines. Heck no. Do you understand the power that you feel in the draw to dominant divine masculine energy? Do you understand that right now, while things are happening with the divine masculine energy, how heavy that energy is? No, honey, this isn't about you in that way. The divine masculine energy is a force to be reckoned with. And when the divine masculine energy is aligned to the divine and in balance with the divine feminine, it is the ultimate dual nature of power. That is ascendant master level. This ain't a game. And after that, after using that divine nature to begin flying over things, the divine masculine energy is moving into being able to lay all their cards out there, which shows both, journey of both. Laying all their cards out there. And it's so interesting because in that, this is clarified with the sacral chakra, which is, you know, that I want. But laying all those cards out there about their journey, who they are, what they know. Because before, in following others and that suppression of self, there was not a communication of how brilliant the divine masculine is. In fact, the world believes that the divine masculine energy is less adept and the divine masculine energy is. And when I tell you that those who are in the dominant divine feminine, and it doesn't matter, you know, if you're with or have your counterpart at this point in time, because you know you are the twin, so those things can come in at any given time. You know, as you ascend, you align with the energy in that in which you are, and your alignment comes as you ascend to certain levels. One, because it just depends on the levels in which you have to fly and go to. So you can make sure that, you know, you're ready. When you're divinely ready, it just kind of happens. It's nothing big that has to happen. That's why it can happen any given time. So that can't be the focus. But when you get into these spaces and the divine masculine is laying out who the divine masculine is, and the dominant feminines are also laying out who they fully are, it's like, whoa. So many of the divine masculines energy right now, people are like, whoa, I didn't know you were that brilliant. I didn't know you were that brilliant. I didn't know you were that brilliant. And it's like, yeah, always been that brilliant, just been in mental conflict, just to shut down the stuff a little bit and, you know, acted like I didn't see all the deceptive things around. I just kind of went along with the illusions, played my part in it, you know, caused me a lot of heartache and loss because I was following directions of so many people. But I kind of ended that whole peel of it, and I balanced out my emotional center and recognized that I need to be tuned in and tapping into my power. So now I just fly above mountains, kind of on my own in a way, being divinely guided, knowing that I don't need to be people guided. And I recognize that I'm able to lay all my cards out and be proud of everything that I've accomplished because I don't have the mental conflict. I know how I got to where I've arrived to. When I followed the other people, I didn't even know how I got to where I've arrived to. I did not have the pride in myself. I had shame. I did not have confidence because the divine nature needs that. Divine nature needs triumph in the journey. So, and that is the awakening of walking their own journey, which allows the aligning to know what I want, and having healing in what I want. That motion didn't allow knowledge of what I want to get to the divine life. If you can't be tapped in fully to what you want, you can't get there. There's that music, we hit it. So yeah, this is beautiful. Let's see if there's a universe card here for the divine masculine. Oh, well, that's an explosion. Let's see what we'll take. We'll just take this one, the last one. It's not a matter of whether or not you can afford it, swing it, or handle it. It's a question of whether or not I can, and I can, the universe. Is that not it? Is that not what the divine masculine energy is at? It's not whether or not you can afford it, swing it, or handle it. The divine masculine energy is recognizing, look, it's just a matter of like if I want it, then I can. That was blocked up because it was like, well, everybody else isn't. But I see the route. I know what feels better. I know who feels better. I know how, but I'm just not saying that. And I'm going with the masses. I want to be like the get along kind of gang in a way is what I'm kind of getting in a term. But feeling safe enough to fly off independently and not aligning with people just to be a part of people. Just really healing up those attachment issues, which you can tell that was a deep healing that was mirrored back that the divine feminine has sat into, and recognize the importance of detachment. You don't just detach from your partner, you learn how to detach from all human beings. It is a motion of being a divine being. You are to connect. You are not to attach and forfeit your life by going along with no one, because you have to be divinely guided to get over the specific things that are in your lifeline. Because if your lifeline comes up and says go this way, and you say the crowd says this way, then how are you going to get to your stuff? You stay in the places of being heartache and loss. The divine masculine is recognizing that the masses, whether it's family, friends, anywhere, they can't get me to my foundation and achievement. The things that I know and that I'm in conflict in my head that I've been silencing so I can do the get along, those are the things that get me there. So it is now for me to communicate that, and I'm sacrificing the heartache and loss that I had to go through and following the crowd. This is being worked on with both of the twins, and they are recognizing that it was never a motion in which they could not have anything. It was a motion of knowing exactly what they wanted by releasing a lot of that mental conflict and allowing themselves to go and align with it versus the attachment of others and what it is that they desire. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The golden mission. The golden mission is union. Union within self, then union with others.